Hello, my name is Neville Chitio. This is another video that I'm posting on my YouTube channel. What I'll be doing today is I'll be showing you a little game that I made using Visual Studio. Now, I'm not a software developer or a games developer or anything, but I just have a fascination for programming, and I was hoping that when you see the game, you could have an appreciation of what I'm trying to do. And if you can help, you will help. I would gladly appreciate that. So the game is basically the snake game, the game that we all used to, hopefully all of us used to play on our feature phones like the Nokias, where there'll be this snake that'll be moving around in a little area, in a little field, eating food. Now, the food will make it grow. It will be growing bigger and bigger and bigger, making the game harder because you're now trying to avoid biting yourself, because if you do that, the game is over. And you're also trying to avoid hitting the wall of the field, which again will end the game. So, that's basically what I'm trying to do. So, let me just open my Visual Studio so that you can see the game and you can see how far I've gone. Alright, so here's my basic form design. I have the red dot, which is an oval shape. I'm using Visual Basic Power Packs to make my drawings. So the red dot is the snake. It's an oval shape element. And the green dot is also an oval shape element, and that will be the food. So I'll refer to the red dot as the snake from here on, and the green dot as the food. And the black rectangle is the field, or the canvas, or the border. So the way this game simply works is it listens for your keystrokes. It listens for enter, key up, key down, key left, key right. Those are the 4 arrows and the enter button. So let me start the debugger. So as you are pressing the keys, they'll be getting recorded here on the output. So I'm going to press enter now. And the moment I press enter, the snake will start moving. Okay, now we have a moving snake. So you'll also notice that the green dot has appeared. And each time, the green dot, the food, each time the snake passes the green dot, it changes position, just like in the games that we used to play. Now you'll also notice that I may be amassing points, but my snake is not growing. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do to make it grow, honestly. But I can't wait to experiment, to, Google and find out what you people have to say to help me out. Now you will notice that if I cross the border, the snake just wraps over and continues going. There are some versions of snake which allow you to do that. So if I go to the up or to the left, it will just continue moving. But one thing that I have not figured out is why it has suddenly stopped doing the same thing when you try to go to the right or you try to go down. Now, of course, when I started developing the game, it used to allow me to do that, but now it won't. So I don't know what to do. But I think I'll figure out what's going on. So you press enter to start the game, and you press enter to stop the game. So basically, that's what I am doing. So, to move the snake, I am using a timer. I control the timer, the basic properties of the timer, the time interval. Now, the time interval is currently set at 10 milliseconds. The higher the time interval, for example, if I set it at 100, then the slower the snake will move. So, as you can see, it's now at 100. So if I start enter, you can see now the snake is moving ridiculously slow. It's probably going to be a boring game to play, right? So I'll just put it back at 10 milliseconds and maintain that. So that's one of the important things. And the second most important thing is the form. Now the form, if you come here where it says key preview, by default it's normally set to false. But I had to set it to true so that the keyboard events are registered with the form. The form captures the events of the keyboard as you are pressing it. It doesn't ignore them, but it allows you to then capture them, make use of them. So let's go to the code now and see what's going on. So basically, the most important code is the timer code. Every time the timer ticks, the counter increments by 1. When the counter increments by 1, certain things are done, and then when you're done, the counter resets. So basically, the counter is going 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And whenever the counter increments by 1, if that is true, then the oval shape 1, which is the snake. Okay, let me just also highlight that quickly. The snake is oval shape 1, and the food is oval shape 2. So the snake is moved by 1 step, which is determined by the value in left val, and also by 1 step up, determined by the value in up val. Now this value can be, these two values can either be positive or negative, And these values are controlled by your keystrokes. Now, who's controlling your keystrokes, or who's listening for the keystrokes? It is this function here, which I found on a helpful forum, which basically says protected overrides function process CMD key. I'm not really sure what that means, but I'm assuming it means that you have this built-in function called process command key, and then you're overriding it so that you can, grab whatever your keys will be returning every time you press them. And in this case, we'll be listening for what is known as key data. So key data can hold the value of keys dot up, keys right, keys down, keys left, keys enter, and every other key on the keyboard. But for the meantime, we're only interested in those 5 keys: up, down, right, left, and enter. So for example, if you press the key up, left val is maintained at 0 so that it doesn't change its left ordinate, and then up val is changed by -1 so that the snake starts going upwards and not downwards. Same thing happens with the right, the down, and the left. Then we come to the enter key. When you press the enter key, if the timer was enabled, the timer will stop. If the timer was running, if the timer was not running, then it'll start. That's how you make the snake to start moving. When the timer stopped, then the snake won't move. And then when you press enter also, then the second oval shape 2, which is the food, appears. When it appears, just before it appears, it is first given a random position on which to start at. That random position is always between is always within the confines of the rectangle, which is specified by the boundaries that you declare when you are moving your random when you're changing the value of your random object. Now each time you eat the snake, which is here, the random position changes, just like the same way it changes when you start. Then your marks are added and they're displayed in the label 1. Basically, that's the code. And I've shown you so that you can appreciate what I'm trying to do. And also, hopefully, that you'll be able to help me out. How do I make the snake grow? How do I add sound effects? And all those things. I hope you will be able to help me out. I'll keep posting videos. Basically, I post random videos of anything that I find interesting. And I'll keep doing that. And thank you for watching. Ciao.